tell me something. When did you realize you might not be able to get out of the tub? Now, most of us think the hard part is getting older. But sometimes the hard part is realizing your body hasn't, it started to negotiate with you before you do the simple things. I mean, because there are some people who truly love sitting in a tub of hot water at the end of the day. There's no rushing, no standing, just soaking and letting the day slow down for just a little while. And then one night, something changes. Not while getting in. It wasn't while you were sitting there. But at the very end, you realize you still have to get back up out of the darn tub. And this is where this goes. Not just switching from baths to showers, but that quiet moment when your body turns something comforting into something now you got to think about it. Picture this. You're lowering yourself into the tub carefully. But it still feels normal to you because you've done this your whole life. And, your body still remembers the movement, even if it takes a little more time than it used to. The water's warm, the room is quiet, and once you settle in, you can feel your shoulders loosen up a little bit because for a few minutes, you're not thinking about errands. You ain't thinking about bills or getting older, or to be honest with you, anything else. You're just sitting there letting the water hold you up. And honestly, it feels good. That's the part people don't always understand. To somebody else, it may just look like a bath. But to you, it feels like peace. Like one of the last places where your body still feels calm, and while you're sitting there in the tub, the water starts cooling down. So naturally, you lean forward a little bit because it's time to get out. And that's when the thought shows up. Not loud, nope. Not dramatic. I mean, it's just quiet, but it has some urgency to it. How am I going to get back up? Now, a younger person may not even understand why that thought matters, because standing up used to happen automatically. But now, you're looking at the edge of the tub before you move. You're noticing where your hands are going to go. You're thinking about leverage before you even move. And right there, the bath stops being relaxing. Because now your body has entered the conversation. So this is what you do. Now you plant both hands and you push upward the same way you always have. Except this time, your body doesn't rise with the same smooth motion you expected. So you just lift halfway. Then you pause. You shift your weight. Then you try it again. And suddenly, you're aware of every part of the movement. Your knees, your hips, your balance. Even the wet surface underneath feels different because now slipping is no longer some random thing that happens to other folk. It can happen to you. And what really catches you off guard is not that you struggled, it's that you weren't even expecting to. So you just sitting there Instead of standing straight up, you roll slightly to the side of the tub because your body is searching for something solid before you can fully think about it. I mean, your body's thinking on its own. Your hand reaches for the cabinet that's next to the tub, then the sink, then whatever feels stable enough to pull against. And when you finally stand there catching your breath for a second, you realize something that doesn't leave you afterward. Years ago, this is you thinking, years ago you stood up out of the tub. Tonight, the entire room had to help you do it. And that realization lands a lot harder than people think. So this is what happens. So next time you go into the bathroom, you look at the tub, but you don't fill it up with water. You turn to the shower instead. And at first, it just feels practical. You're trying to rationalize this. It feels easier, less trouble. But deep down, you know the real reason. The shower removes the part you no longer trust. Because now every bath comes with a question attached to it before you even sit down. And once that happens, the shower slowly becomes your routine. Not because you stop loving baths, but because you stop trusting the ending when it's time for you to get up out of the tub. So here's the dilemma. Do you tell yourself this is just, you're trying to convince yourself now that this is just a smarter choice? Or do you admit something important changed the moment you became afraid of getting stuck at the bottom of the tub? Because one side says showers are simple, safer and easier. That's you rationalizing again. But the other side remembers when your body never interrupted peaceful moments with caution. When you didn't have to mentally rehearse how you were going to get back up before you even relaxed. And once your mind starts thinking that way, you begin changing small parts of your life quietly and early, long before anyone else notices what's happening. And that's the part that stays with people. Not the shower. Not the bath. Nope. But realizing your body has started asking questions your mind never used to ask. Well, you know what I'm getting ready to say now. If this video meant something to you, or you felt a little something, or you saw a little something, don't forget to subscribe and comment. Guess what? I'll see you with the next video.